Good Lord. Happy Friday. It is 4:30. We're a few hours behind. We had a long day, didn't we, Joe? Oh, we have a guest on the couch that decided he was going to speak before his turn.
He was going to speak.
What's up, Anthony? We decided that we had nothing better to talk about, so we'd throw you on the couch today.
Out here brokering deals. I got a lot of things to bring to the show today, okay?
I'm
ready
kidding.
to be sipping on my St. Rock vodka.
Yeah, shout out St. Rock.
Nice that you put that right there for me, the whole bottle.
We're not opening it right now.
You have two of them, though, so I'm jealous, but it's
I'll
okay.
share.
I don't have
Thank
any,
you.
so.
Maybe.
Yeah, that's the
No,
problem.
one of these is Joe's.
Not a lot of balance, Joe. It's messed up.
You know, we stay strapped with our St. Rock vodka and our entire 7-3 distillery bar that we have in the shop.
It is very nice, the display. So.
I wish we could show it. It's on the Instagram.
Shout out Q.
Shout out Q. Y'all, it's been 2 weeks since we've had a Valley Vision. Yeah, the last show we did was last Monday.
Do
you had
guys
Christmas.
work around here?
Oh, no.
Unbelievable.
No.
Can you believe they took off for Christmas?
I mean, he's the boss, so he let us have off for Christmas. That's crazy,
what kind of
right?
show are we running here, Lila?
Crazy. 2 weeks.
Yeah.
And yeah, we all got sick. Come on, cut us some slack.
Well, you and Jonah got me sick.
The one who said he didn't get sick.
Well, yeah, I don't normally get sick.
And you
but then
went down
brought
for
that
4 days.
New virus in here, and you got me sick.
Don't put that on me.
I was bedridden.
Anyway, we're glad to be back. Did a lot of cool stuff. Even though we weren't having live shows, we got to do 2 really cool interviews. One with Lance Yates from LSU men's golf, and the other just went out today with LSU basketball, men's basketball guard Jordan Wright. Both of those are on our YouTube channel. Fun content.
Joe, who won the putting competition?
Oh my God.
It was a couple weeks ago. I was sick. I can't remember.
He's over here trying to shit talk.
Obviously, Lance won, but.
Okay, Anthony beat my butt in golf. Okay, it's on video, so if you go check out that interview, you'll see that Lance,
I heard you
Anthony,
shot the ball
and I,
well,
and
though.
here we go. You
know
what?
You shot the ball well.
So for those of you that saw the interview with Anissa a couple weeks ago, I was struggling. It was tragic. But yesterday I got to redeem myself, and I did beat Jordan Wright in a free throw challenge.
That's nice.
It's recorded. Now, he did shoot with his left hand, which I was upset about because the wind didn't feel like a real wind.
But you cashed your first 4, I heard.
I did.
That's legit. Doesn't matter if you shoot left-handed or not. Like you made your first 4. That's awesome.
Well, I told him after the season we have to run it back, and he has to do it with his right hand.
Okay, that's fair.
That gives me enough time to practice.
That's fair. And he knows what you bring to the table now, so he can mentally prepare. He'll be good. Yeah.
He even told me I was kind of good from mid-range. Layups, bad. Missed so many layups. It was really bad.
Those are the easy
I know.
ones.
Okay, yeah, that's the whole point.
There was actually one of the times during the shoot around where he missed a layup, and he said, "I'm starting to look like you."
Yeah.
Ooh,
it's a great interview. Really good banter back and forth.
I can't wait to see it. Yeah.
You should go check it out. It's it literally
you
went live.
You put the teaser out today?
Yeah.
And
no, it's
everything?
up. It's up.
The whole thing?
So the whole interview is on the YouTube channel. It just went up about
awesome.
2 hours ago. Be sure to check those out and subscribe to the channel because we have so much ready to roll. Lots more interviews. JV and Toviano from football is going to do an interview with us. We're trying to work on a gymnastics interview, which is going to be really interesting, having me flip around the facility, but you do what you got to do.
That. She committed to the flip around.
I did.
She is flipping around.
Well, if I'm going to do it, I'm going to commit. Like,
I was just thinking she was going to do some bar balance, like walking and like.
I mean, that too, but
hanging
we'll
from
see
the
what
things. I don't even know what else gymnasts do, but.
Tumble. I used to tumble.
Okay.
We'll see.
Let's see.
Hopefully I don't break my back on
when
camera.
When are you going to do the
horrible.
softball? That's what started this whole thing is like you can crush a softball and you haven't picked softball yet.
Because it's not softball season.
I mean, it's getting close.
Okay, can I knock the other sports out while they're in season?
You're right. You're killing
me.
Okay,
thank you.
You're right.
Crazy.
You go to a cage.
Oh yeah, I'm ready. I'm ready.
Yeah.
Maybe a home run derby. We'll see if we can get a couple athletes from different sports in on that.
That could be fun.
That just came to my mind. Like that literally was. I don't know if that'll happen. I just
maybe
thought
do
about
a Valley Vision fundraiser event, charity softball event. That would be cool.
We're brainstorming today. Wow. We got to write this down. It is on camera. We have a recording of it.
It's on camera.
So we're good. Anyway, we'll get back to the sports.
About?
So men's basketball plays tonight at 7 in the PMAC. They'll play Northwestern. Women's basketball plays tomorrow night against Jacksonville, again in the PMAC at 7 p.m. Not too much going on. Again, they are student athletes. They are on break. Not many games going on. Basketball just now picking back up after, they were off over a week, huh? Yeah, we haven't gotten to cover much because there hasn't been much to cover. But we'll pick that back up tonight. Joe and I will be at the men's game. Joe's been killing it on the court. Huh? How does it feel to be sitting crisscross applesauce like 3 feet from the players with a big old camera?
Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah, it's cool. You know how many people would pay for that? People do pay to be sitting that close.
Yeah, I think a lot of people do.
Maybe not crisscross applesauce because
it's in a box, in a little box.
Y'all, there are literally, if the next time you go to a basketball game of any, you can even see it on the TV. The media have to sit in these little taped boxes on the court and like have to stay in their box. So like you're either on your knees or you're crisscross applesauce.
Yeah, Joe's been going to yoga.
I feel like it's a suggestion.
You think?
Joe's been going to yoga for 3 weeks practicing this.
Oh, you're getting
why,
flexible.
Yeah, he's a big flexible guy.
You're getting flexible. No, but he's been killing the content. A lot of the social stuff that's going to be coming out is stuff that he's put together, learning the new effects packages and stuff. We're leveling up here at Valley Vision. We're learning as we go, but getting better every day, right? Yeah, Joe. Appreciate you. Yeah. All right, you ready to talk about that football game happening on Monday, the last LSU football game of this season? If you want to count it, it'll be the first 2024 football game because they do play on New Year's Day, ReliaQuest Bowl in Tampa against Wisconsin. Before we start breaking it down, again, Jayden Daniels will not be playing. He is the only one, I believe.
Wait, he's not playing now?
No, he's not. I think, and it's, prep for the draft. Don't want to get hurt. He won the Heisman. Doesn't need to prove anything else. Completely understand that. That's a business move. Smart. Would we have liked? I think everybody would have liked to see him throw the record-breaking ball to Malik.
Yep.
But Garrett Nussmeier will get that honor. Go ahead.
I'm gonna differ.
Go ahead.
From you on this. Do I acknowledge that it's smart? Sure. Do I completely agree with it? I think I very much support Jayden Daniels. I think what he's done for LSU has been awesome. Brought a third Heisman to us, the second in 4 years. Like, nothing but love for Jayden Daniels. But as a principal, I hate opting out of any game.
Me too.
I agree with you. I think all three of us are on the same page.
Yeah.
Like you finish with your boys kind of thing.
100%.
If I were him, I would be playing this game. But I don't want to. I'm not knocking Jayden Daniels for not playing this game.
You can't say if you were him because that's tough.
Yeah.
You want to say it, and you know what, Malik? I mean, Jayden probably thought that when he was 12 years old too. Like, oh man, I can't. You know what I'm saying? When it happens to you, and it's
that's what I'm saying. I'm not knocking him.
No, I know, but I'm just saying. You were like, if I were him, I would have played him. Like, it's hard to say it like that.
Right, because I'm not him, and I'm not.
That's what I'm saying.
In his 100%. Position at all.
You just got to understand it's a different position that he's in.
Absolutely.
Life changing.
Absolutely. Yeah. It's a smart business decision. I completely agree.
Just sucks for fans. And, as people, you're just like, you wish that it was just universal for everyone else where everybody had the same risk, and it's like, and there was no option. You wish it was just like, hey, you sign up to play 13 games. Like, this is what you do, or how, right, 13, right? Whatever it is. But or your regular season
regular
and bowl
season
game.
is 12. You have a conference championship. If you make it, that's 13.
Right.
Typically, people play 13, or if you make the playoffs, 14, 15.
So, yeah.
But that's what I mean. You should have a minimum requirement. Or hey, if you sign up and you play and decide to play the whole year, you got to play if you're healthy. Yeah. Obviously, there would be loopholes and people would fake injuries and shit like that. But still, I think you should have some sort of thing where everybody has the same risk.
Yeah.
But back to my point, he's not playing. He's the only one not playing, right? The only one that was we know of for sure.
He was the only one that is not in the transfer portal and was with the team.
Yes.
For the last game that will not be.
Speaking of
Malik's
the transfer
playing?
portal.
Well, he's gonna try to get.
Well, he wants that record. Go off. Mm-hmm. We want to see it. But speaking of the transfer portal, you've got a whole list. So Denver Harris and Duce Chestnut, who their names were all over the place this whole season because we didn't see much of them. Kind of makes sense for them to enter the transfer portal, so both of those guys have put their name in, as well as Marlon Martinez, Armoni Goodwin, Tre Bradford, Laterrance Welch, Fitzgerald West, Tygee Hill, Jackson McGohan, Bryce Langston, and Quency Wiggins. All of those guys are in the transfer portal. Notice whose name is not on that list? Sage Ryan. Last time we did a show, 2 weeks ago, Sage had his name in the transfer portal. Sage pulled his name out of the transfer portal 2 days after he put it in.
Yeah, not
it was
long.
a quick turnaround. He ended up
the waters and
a
little cold.
So is that is that how that works? Like you put your name in, and I guess you put feelers out to see if anybody would be interested, and then you can pull back if not, or if it's nobody you're.
Yeah, I mean you have that option. At the end of the day, you can always pull your name out of the portal if you feel the need. Yeah, I mean yes, that's. Or it can be used that way. I don't know if to me, I think he was really struggling with if he wanted to stay or not.
Well, yeah, because he came back out and he was like, you know what? No, I want to finish with the guys I started with, kind of thing. Like, finish with my brothers was the statement. But I am so curious. I mean, we won't know because that's behind closed doors, and they would have already talked about it. But what happened there to where you commit to transferring and then you pull out 2 days later, which I guess don't you.
What?
I thought you laughed. We're moving on.
I did laugh because I'm like, in today's world with NIL, you have to wonder, like, did he put his name in the draft and somebody here called him and said, Sage, we don't want you to go. Here's $10,000 and you can stay, do these appearances, for the next 3 weeks and stay at LSU and finish with your boys. You don't know. Or did he not get what he wanted somewhere else? Or, or did someone sign where he thought he was going to go and said, oh, shit, I don't want to go there now? I don't know. You know what I'm saying? There's so many scenarios, right?
Yeah. Look, I think that this could be Sage Ryan entering the transfer portal and then pulling his name out of it. I think that could be a really good indicator as to what he thinks the future of the LSU defense is.
Absolutely.
Because, look, whenever he put his name in the portal, I know a lot of LSU fans were not on the Sage Ryan train throughout the season. But as soon as he put his name in the portal, I said, that dude's going to go somewhere and be really good. Like
you did say
he was
that.
a 5-star out of high school. He's got all the tools. He's a physical beast. Like, he's got all the tools to be a really, really good safety. And, this past season they had him playing out of position. He was playing a corner because we had a lack of defensive backfield depth. So you got the guy who specializes in zone and middle of the field type play, now trying to play on the edge and man up against wide receiver 1s and 2s. That's a big ask. Mm-hmm. If he can slide back into that safety role and they let him play free in a position he's comfortable playing, he could be really, really good. And that was my fear with him going somewhere else. So if he sees that in his future at LSU, I think that's a great indicator of where our defense is heading.
Yeah.
And you don't know what conversations he had with the coaching staff.
Right.
About what changes are going to be made. Obviously, there are going to be changes to the defense. There have to be. But he may know something that we don't, and that's why he decided to stay at LSU. Going back to the bowl game, Jayden Daniels is the only one that is opted out that isn't in the transfer portal. And then Wisconsin has a couple of their key guys out. Braelen Allen, which is the key to their offense, right? Their running back.
Yeah, pretty much. Braelen Allen going into the season, he was a big get for them. He's a incredible running back, and put up a really solid year. But not having him is going to hurt.
You want to list the other guys that are sitting out? I don't want to butcher names.
Ooh.
You don't have it pulled up?
Yeah.
They're punt and kick returner.
Yeah, Chimere
Wide
Dike.
receiver.
Tanor Bortolini is their center. So, like, losing the anchor to your offensive line as well as your running back is rough. That's going to put a lot of pressure on Tanner Mordecai, the quarterback. Rodas Johnson, defensive lineman. Jordan Turner, inside linebacker. And Jason Maitre, who's the nickelback. Those are all starters.
Yep.
That are missing for them. So that's rough. That's
for
rough.
them.
Yeah.
Absolutely somewhere that Garrett Nussmeier can capitalize.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe our defense has a good performance.
Yeah, I mean, I don't see why not. Look, all the guys defensively, you lose Duce Chestnut and Denver Harris, but Denver didn't play a lot this year.
I was going to say you didn't see too much of either of them, to be honest.
So everybody else is available.
Garrett, first career start. What are we looking for from him?
This is his first career start.
First career start.
Yeah, you could. I think a lot of people have the idea that he started against Arkansas.
Yeah.
A couple years ago, he didn't. I want to say he came in like midway through the first quarter.
Yeah.
But he played the majority
of that
game.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think we see a big day from him. We saw flashes of what he could do in that Arkansas game as a freshman. We saw what he could do last year in the SEC championship versus Georgia in that second half. He played a really solid half of football. I think being put into this role for this final game and literally just look, I don't expect him to do what Jayden had done all year. That's
right.
not the case at all. But sliding him into that quarterback role in what is the best offense in college football, there's not many opportunities you'd want more than that.
Exactly.
Well, okay, to point out, there are changes happening to the offense. Remember, Mike Denbrock is no
Yes.
longer with LSU, the
Yep.
offensive coordinator. He is now going to Notre Dame, meaning assistant coaches Cortez, Hankton, right, and Joe Sloan are
Quarterback coach and wide receiver coach.
Yep.
Yeah.
Co-offensive coordinators for this game. So how does that affect the offense? What changes do you think they make? Do they roll with what they've been rolling with? I don't see why they don't.
Yeah.
But I mean, coaching change, surely there's going to be some tweaks.
I think that's a question that will need more elaboration as we get into the offseason and looking towards the 2024 season. But when you have a playbook in place, you know what roles guys are supposed to be playing, and you have the two coaches at your two most important positions, or at least what was this year, stepping into that role and play calling and all that. I don't think it will be much of a drop-off for one game. Again, this is a conversation we can have more in depth looking towards next year,
Right.
but for one final game, I don't think it's the end of the world.
I don't think you're going to see too much of a difference. That being said, I think we said we'll see you. I think y'all forget we're literally in Cards and Culture in Perkins Row. We got people coming in and out. What's up, Adam? Yep. Bye. But that being said, Wisconsin's pretty mid, given who's not playing, who
What are
is
they
playing. They're not.
They're
Yeah,
not
I don't
ranked.
think they are.
LSU's 13 going into this. They are not ranked.
All right.
So that being said, I think this is a blowout.
I think it's got that potential for sure.
I think it's a high-scoring game.
I'll tell you this. I'll put it this way, and I don't expect LSU to beat Wisconsin as bad as they beat Purdue on January 1st last year.
Okay.
But that was a beatdown. LSU put up 70 some odd points. But I feel better about this game than I did the Purdue game in the bowl.
How does that work?
Look, Aiden O'Connell last year at Purdue was solid. Like, he was a really, really good quarterback. Purdue was in the Big Ten championship game. They lost to Michigan, obviously. But I want to say they lost like a 10-point game in the Big Ten championship. Wisconsin's a team that wasn't really even in the mix for the Big Ten championship. I want to say they lost 5 or 6 games this year, just snuck their way in.
Yeah.
So being down their best player in Braelen Allen, being down their center, asking the redshirt senior Tanor Mordecai to go in and put together a game without your center, without your running back, without your wide receiver one. You're down on special teams because that wide receiver one is also your punt returner and kick returner. You're down an inside linebacker. You're down
Taking
a corner.
some
Like,
blows.
you see what I'm saying? Like, I feel better about this matchup than I did last year against Purdue. And I don't think that we're going to go win 70-14 or whatever final score last year was, but I feel better about this game.
I think the over-under is 55, I want to say.
Give me the over.
We've been doing it all season.
Yeah.
Or we're doing it all season. We haven't had LSU football in a minute. But that will change on Monday, last game of the 2024 season, New Year's Day.
Yeah.
Hopefully we start off 2024 with a win. That'd be sick.
That'd be nice.
Yeah. Before we continue, I know we were joking earlier about St. Rock, but we do want to shout them out for sponsoring us and partnering with us. Their vodka is partnered with Bayou Traditions, so portions of each purchase go back to Bayou Traditions. And NIL, meaning the athletes get some of those proceeds. So if you're a vodka drinker, it's good vodka. If you just like LSU athletics and want to support the athletes that you watch and enjoy watching, this is a perfect way to do it. Not all of us are bigwigs and can just throw money at the school and at the athletic programs, but this is an awesome way to get involved and to support the athletes at LSU. Again, shout out St. Rock. 7-3 Distilling in New Orleans. Check them out. Their distillery is really sick. We got to go down there. They're building a podcast studio. They've got a bar. It's awesome. So if you're down there, you have nothing to do, definitely take a tour with Luca. He's the head distiller. We appreciate y'all so much for all of the support. It's not baseball season, but like I said, it's kind of a slow period right now. We're waiting on things to kick off again after the holidays. So we figured we'd have Anthony Ranaudo come sit on the couch. I keep talking about him. I talk about him all the time. He's got the Up and In show where he interviews LSU athletes, coaches, professional athletes, entrepreneurs, everybody you can think of. And I always name drop him, but I don't think you've ever been on Valley Vision other than like the interactive interviews. Like you were in the golf interview.
Yeah, you're right.
But you've never like had a little
No, I know. This is my
moment.
This is my moment. Thanks
This
for
is
having
your
me.
Valley Vision
I
debut.
asked to be on here, but thanks for being
He
here.
did ask.
I was like, "Do you want me on today?"
I
She
was like, "Yeah, you
"Do
can sit on the
wanna be
couch, it's
on?"
fine.
And I was like, "Yeah, I just haven't done a podcast in a minute." So
Okay, can you explain who you are though? Just like you know how you do on your little up and in.
Oh, yeah, this is nice.
Okay, give me
I
like a
this.
minute
Yeah.
intro of who you are.
Yeah. I'm Anthony Ranaudo. I grew up in New Jersey. I came down to Louisiana in the fall of 2007 to play baseball here at LSU. Played here for 3 years, won a national championship, part of the 2009 national championship team, and was fortunate enough to be the winning pitcher on that team for that last final game, which is really cool. I got drafted by the Boston Red Sox in 2010. Wound up playing in the major leagues with the Red Sox, the Rangers, the White Sox, and then I sold out and played a year in Korea before I took a line drive off my hand, which ended my career. And then I've been a serial entrepreneur ever since. I made some investments during my career and always enjoyed business and knew that I would be involved in that kind of stuff. And now, I've been fortunate enough to invest in a few things that have been successful, and then have started a few things on the franchise side. And then, like you said, we're here in Cards and Culture, which is my collectible shop in Baton Rouge. And we have a great media team that complements that and does great storytelling and things like that. So I think that was like a minute and 23, but
Perfect.
I felt good about it. You know?
Yeah, I feel like you hit all the important points.
Yeah, it was quick.
So when I'm talking about Anthony, this is who I'm talking about. I got to stop name dropping people. I act like they're freaking family and they know everybody I'm talking about. This is Anthony.
I know. And fam, if anybody from Abby's family is watching, I'm sorry. And thank you for the invite to Christmas. I was definitely ill. I would have loved to have been there. I'm from New Jersey, like I mentioned earlier, and Abby's family, Miss Tracy, was sweet enough to invite me out to their festivities and all the things that they get to do down in New Orleans. So thank you for the invite. I'm sorry I couldn't make it. Maybe another time when I'm healthy, I would look forward to that. That would be awesome.
Mom was pretty disappointed.
Yeah, I know. And
I'm
shout
just
out to
kidding. She was not.
I know. And also, I got to show love to Joe and his family. They also invited me, and Joe, bounces around on Christmas and things like that, and offered me to go to a couple different spots, which was really nice too. So that's really cool. I always appreciate the support. So thank you, Joe. I appreciate you too.
We have a little family here,
We do.
clearly. We're pretty tight. In fact, Mikey's in the comments. He goes, I miss the Anthony Abby banter on live. So again, for
Nice.
those of you
Let's
that
go.
didn't
Stir the
know,
pot, Mikey.
we used to do Bets and Breaks, which is sports betting, card breaking show. Things got really hectic, so that took a back seat for a
Not
little bit.
Abby and I's banter, maybe a little bit, but
No, I got kicked off the show.
she got canceled.
I got kicked off of Bets
You're
and
out.
Breaks.
You're out.
I got
No.
promoted too.
Yeah, wait, listen to this.
And now it's Joe and I's show.
I get kicked off. Joe takes my spot. I was
Yeah.
like, damn, it's like that.
I didn't get to share the desk though. I'm still back here.
I mean, I can produce if you want to sit at the desk, if that's what it's all about.
Then you'd have
Yeah,
to
let's
be back
start
on it.
co-producing, Joe. We'll just each press our button when we're on. We'll be on together. It'll be great.
We're overlooking the fact that I got kicked off of the show. Anyway.
What if we
it's-
circled back and Abby's now the producer of the show and Joe and I are doing the show?
I think that would be worse. I just don't know. I'm
Every
kicked
now and
off.
then we let her turn her mic on in the camera and be like, okay, Abby, you can turn your mic and camera on now.
This is what y'all. This is why I got kicked off the show. because
Boys
it was
only.
just he and I going at it over sports.
Just kidding.
3 times a week.
Yeah.
No, I'm just kidding. It got really busy with Valley
Just
Vision.
because Eli is the greatest.
No, nope. We're not bringing it to this show.
I'm with you
I
on this
mean,
one.
For,
Tom and Eli probably.
I'm pointing at Abby, by the way.
to give
You can't
context,
tell,
he's
but-
speaking
Tom
of
and
Eli Manning.
Tom and Eli are, it's like 1A Tom 1A, and then Eli.
That is the coldest
1B.
sports take I've heard in a long time. We're not going. This is
said-
Valley Vision. This is not Bets and Breaks. This is why we don't do Bets and Breaks anymore right now.
Here. Put in the comments, fam. Let me know if you guys want me to
Okay,
be here
knock
more.
it off.
There could
Okay,
they could bring a vote. We could bring it to a vote.
Goodness.
How many Alonzos are in the chat?
They're at work right now.
Oh, really?
Thank
Oh, that's
God.
right,
Yeah, because if Dad was in here, when he watches this later, he's talking about Tom Brady.
I'm gonna go message.
That's a terrible idea. He will die on that hill. You want to know where I get it? Dad. Okay. We were talking about baseball before we got off topic. And LSU wins the Natty this past year.
Mm-hmm.
Huge deal. Jay Johnson, incredible pitching staff, just team all around. Are you looking for, you won a Natty. You've been to Omaha. How difficult is it Or are we looking for this team to get back to Omaha, much less win another national championship back-to-back years?
Yeah, I think anytime you win a national championship, there's a lot of expectations the next year, and I think Jay has done a pretty incredible job of bringing in high-level talent, whether that be recruiting or through the portal. And so, LSU is LSU also. So a lot of people feel like LSU's back. They just had the number 1 and number 2 overall picks too, right? So you're sending a message that we're a powerhouse. In the past draft, they also had Blake Mitchell, who was a high school sign that was supposed to come here, who was 8th overall. So Jay's recruiting the talent here. I think there's a lot of expectations between fans and around amongst the country, just that LSU has the cream of the crop again. They are the best, and there's a lot of expectations to win when that happens. So.
I'm going to bring this up because we are in the midst of basketball season, and women's basketball just won a championship. But they are facing a lot of different challenges because that was a similar narrative, right? You have Haley Van Lith come in, and you've got Anissa Morrow transfer in, and you've got Michaela Williams come in as a freshman, and now the roster that you have is incredible, right? The best in college, in women's college basketball, arguably. But you're facing some adversities, and that comes with a whole bunch of other issues on and off the court. But is that something that you think LSU baseball runs into as well, as being overhyped? Not overhyped, because it really is one of the best rosters, and Jay Johnson does a great job. But is that a problem you could run into, something similar to LSU women's basketball?
Yeah, I think most teams, Coach Maneri, who was my coach at LSU, Paul Maneri, he called it a championship hangover. And I think he got that, from Phil Jackson, one of the coaches that had done repeat championships, and they said it was the hardest. He told us first day of camp, whatever workouts in August, hardest thing to do is win a championship back to back. And he's like, the championship hangover is real. And that's, I think, what LSU women are facing right now, right? You get everybody's number 1 every single game. You have the target on your back. You are the team to beat, right? So you get everybody's A game no matter what. Every single night on a Tuesday, you got to bring it better than everyone else. So that's first and foremost, right? You had pieces that won a championship last year that are inevitably going to leave, right? Very rarely does every single piece come back the following year. But then even if those pieces came back, right, to repeat again and do exactly and be the last team standing is just one of the hardest things to do in general. So to be able to do it again is just extremely hard. So yes, and then you have egos and personalities and things like that, right? As a sophomore, I was part of the team, and then coming back as a junior and being one of the leaders, now my role is different, right? There's expectations for me. There's leadership qualities that I need to execute on, because as a sophomore, I was able to let some of the juniors and seniors do their thing, right? And I just had to go out there and perform on Friday night. A lot different task when now you're the leader of the staff. You're the Friday guy still, but you're in charge of coaching up the younger guys and showing them, hey, this is how a championship team wins, right? And some people don't take to that, Like I had some battles with some new people, and and that's the way it was. And I think you're seeing the same things with Angel and the team, and right, like there's just things that are going to happen, and emotions and shit like that. And you have to have a great leader like Kim Mulkey, and Jay Johnson. And that's where, yes, I think we're going to expect that. It's just how long does it go on, right? And that's what our team never really recovered from. We struggled and fell off. We were number 1 in the country for a long time. We were 36-7 at one point, or 37-6, number 1 in the country. Then we lost 8 weekends in a row. And so it was just how long did that last, right? And so we almost didn't make the SEC tournament, but then we got it right, and we won the SEC tournament, right? So it's just a matter of how do you get up and in, out of it, and all that kind of stuff. And luckily, the people that struggled like myself that year, that were key contributors to the team last year, all stepped up at the right times, and we were able to salvage a successful season where we were number 1 at a time of the year. We won the SEC tournament championship, and we were able to go to UCLA and play in a regional at a high level, and we fell to Trevor Bauer and Garrett Cole. Not the worst,
Right.
And so again, but that's what good teams do, is you figure out ways to compete and make yourselves relevant at the end of the year, and then you just hope that your championship team can take over and stuff. So I think if Jay gets to Omaha, it's a successful year. I really do. That's all you can ask for. If you have a chance to win at the end of the year and you're one of the final 8 teams as a championship base, that's a very successful year to me. So I think, there's going to be the ups and downs, but can he get them back to Omaha, or be in a position to get to Omaha, right? Hosting a regional, being like that kind of stuff, then we're looking at a very, very successful season, in my opinion.
Speaking of Omaha, I do want to ask you a question about Omaha, but before, if you were a fan of LSU baseball,
you guys may have more Omaha experience, the new Omaha, than I do. So anyway, go ahead.
So no, that's kind of what I was about to talk about. Like, both of us, Joe and I, were in Omaha this year. Didn't know each other at the time.
Which is crazy. That is
crazy. Actually, I'm going to share how I ended up in Omaha. I lived in Dallas. I'm at a bar watching the LSU football game.
Yeah.
Wait, no.
We did know each other, but we didn't like.
Okay.
We
It
weren't
wasn't
like
a football
friends,
game.
yeah.
No, it wasn't a football game.
June.
No, I was watching the game before that. The first game of the series. That's the same bar that I would go to for all the LSU games. Anyway, I'm there watching the baseball game. I get a phone call from my girl Callie, who was in Houston for the weekend. She was like, "Are we crazy? Are we going to Omaha? Pack a bag. I'll be in Dallas in 2.5 hours." I leave the bar. I go home. I pack a bag. I get in the car at 12:30. We drive through the night, hit through 7 states. I'm not kidding. 3 of us took turns. Me, Callie, and Amanda. Pull up to the park. 5 minutes to first pitch. We get there, right? And we're thinking, okay, LSU's going to win game 2. We'll go home right after the game. LSU got blown out, to put it lightly. So now we're like, what do? Did we just drive through the night, hungover? Some of us still drunk, not driving drunk, but do we stay? Yes, we stay. We finesse our way into a hotel room. We stay there. We watch LSU win the championship. It was one of the best moments of my life. Core memory, I will tell my kids about it. I feel like you feel the same way about Omaha. I know you feel the same way about Omaha. So back to my point being, if you're an LSU baseball fan and LSU baseball makes it back to Omaha, do everything in your power to at least be there. If you don't want to go to the game, can't afford a ticket to the game, fine. Get there. It is incredible. And this goes to show the LSU fan base across all sports, I feel like, but especially baseball during that time. Oh my gosh. I had so much pride. I feel like I was beaming with pride because I was like, no other fan base is showing up the way that we do.
Oh, yeah.
None.
Oh, that's the best.
I'll get off my soapbox. So going back to my question for you, speaking of Omaha, I'm going to guess, or I'm not going to. I can guess what you remember most, but can you explain the best feeling that you had when you were up there, or what it felt like to throw that last pitch?
Yes.
I've never talked to you about this, so I'm just curious.
Yeah, no, that's a good question. But only if you answer a question for Joe and I after.
Okay.
I don't know if he's thinking it, but I'm like, you said we finessed the hotel room. So I want to know how you and your homies finessed the hotel room.
We're really going to air it all out. Do you want me to
Anyway.
answer? I'll answer after. You have to
I'll give you some time
first.
to chew on what you want to say that's camera
Okay.
appropriate.
Okay.
No, that really was a great question. And just for record, I didn't throw the last pitch.
Your
I was
last
a starter.
pitch.
My last pitch, yeah.
I guess your experience.
Honestly, that
pitching
was
in Omaha.
probably the best experience. There's a couple different things that I remember about Omaha. The first thing I remember about Omaha is my freshman year, we were fortunate enough to go to, and we were very excited to be there, right? We were oh my God, this is amazing, and all
Right.
that stuff. So I do remember that feeling of wow, this is a childhood dream. What really wasn't my childhood dream, but it was a childhood dream, and it was very cool. This is what we work for, right? And then it was oh, we got our asses kicked, we're out of here. And I remember standing there with one of my roommates and being like, let's come back here next year and let's win this shit. You know what I'm saying? That would be a lot cooler than this feeling right here.
Right.
So I remember that feeling first and foremost. That was the first one. I think secondly, I remember getting there the second year and being like, wow, this is ours to take now. We're in a better hotel, better area. We're downtown. We were cocky, I think in a healthy way where it was I think we were very confident. We were this is our tournament. We're here to take care of business. We know exactly what we need to do. We're in the best part of town. We have all our fans on our side and that kind of stuff. The autograph signings, the fan meet and greets were just different. It was fun. It was a lot of fun. So I remember that. Game 2 in the championship series, we won game 1, and I remember I tried to get the ball to pitch game 2 from Coach Maitre and Coach Gruey, and they wouldn't let me pitch, and they didn't let me start that game. So game 2, we lose, and luckily I didn't pitch, and Maitre told me the night before, he said, look, if we lose game 2, I want to be able to come back and say we have our ace for game 3 for all the championships. And I was like, all right, we're not going to lose this game, but whatever, coach. All right, cool. I'm not going to get to pitch. Like, I'm like, you're an asshole. Like, we're going to sweep this. We're going to whatever, right? Anyway, Taylor Youngman goes out and throws a gem. Dude wound up making it to the major leagues. He throws a complete game shutout, shoves it up our ass. And we're all just like, oh, boy, all right. So it's
Game 3.
Yeah, game 3. Here we are. And so Coach Maitre, we all shake hands, again, with the Texas guys. I'm going to try not to get emotional here because it chokes me up every single time when I talk about this. But one of the cooler moments that has ever happened to me in sports, I remember there's 2 things, and I'll give some comedic relief to this. The first part was Coach Maitre. We go shake hands, then we're all in the huddle, right? And we're all standing there, and we're just like, we just lost the game. And we're wondering what's going to happen. And Coach Maitre comes in, and he goes, all right, boys. He was like, we're going to go up and get on that bus, and we're going to turn all the music on like we just whooped Texas's ass, because I want y'all to remember exactly what it feels like, to win a game. And we're going to go celebrate on that bus like we had just won the game. You know why? And everybody was like, the fuck is this guy talking about? And he was like, because if I told you guys on August 16th that we had a 1-game winner-take-all championship game and Anthony Ranaudo was on the mound, what would you guys say? And literally, everybody just, immediately was like, fuck yeah, let's go. And it was just, the most, as a 20-year-old, 19-year-old boy, I was sitting there, shitting myself a little bit, I'm like, damn, everything's on my shoulders right now. I knew that, I knew, and I was like, oh, boy, I'm sitting there, and there's, that confidence of, I know who I am and, what I've done this year and all that stuff, but, I'm tired as shit. I've thrown 119 innings. I'm dead. Am I going to have my best stuff? I know I'm going to go out there and compete my balls off, and, everybody's going to want me out there, but I'm a little nervous, right? And then for Maitre to come in there and instill that confidence and to see everybody's reaction, that to me was I got this shit. We got this shit. There was no way we'll ever lose. So we get on the bus. Before that, actually, and where I'm going to throw some comedic relief in. Think about this at the time. This is 2009, okay, Joe? I'm going to say Joe, because maybe you'll know. You'll know who she is, but Erin Andrews.
Where's this going?
Every kid's dream, right? You get to Omaha, it's you want to get interviewed by Erin Andrews, right? Game 1 of the series, I'm in the dugout, and she's, we're there, and we're cutting up, and she's at the camera well, and we're messing around, joking with her, we're saying shit, whatever. And she's young at this time, we're 19, she's probably 24, 25, she's young. And so we're just bantering with her and joking, and I'm she knew who I was because she's doing her reporting, right? She knows, and so we're talking, she's like, you're not going to pitch again this series, just joking back and forth. I'm like, watch, shut up, blah, blah, blah. And we start joking, and I wound up asking her if I could write a note on the ball to because my dad couldn't come to Omaha because he fell off a ladder and tore his patella tendon, and so he couldn't travel. He was bedridden, so he was just watching every game from the bed in New Jersey. My mom didn't come. Nobody from my family came. Yeah, it was kind of interesting. So it was Father's Day, and so I was like, hey, can I put this on the ball? He's not here, all that kind of stuff. So she was like, yes, absolutely, blah, blah, blah. So she cut to me doing it, and we did all that stuff. And so we had a little moment, you know what I'm saying, bantering or whatever in the dugout. And then after Maitre does that speech, I'm grabbing all my stuff. And I remember telling DJ LeMahieu, I'm like, yo, Erin Andrews is right over there. I think I'm gonna go talk to her again, and shoot my shot. And I had in my head, I had in my head that I was gonna say, if she walked by, I was gonna be like, Erin, remember how you said I wasn't gonna pitch again the rest of the tournament? Tomorrow I got the ball, and when we win tomorrow, you got to come out and celebrate with us, and I get your number. That's what I was going to say to her when she walked by. And you guys are gonna laugh. I didn't execute and shoot on my shot because Erin Andrews starts walking by, and I'm standing there, and I'm like, here we go, I'm gonna do it. And I'm zipping up my bag, and as I look up, she walks by me, and she gives me the sexiest but most confident, she just looks at me like this, and she goes, and winks and does this almost you got this, you know what I'm saying, type shit. And I was just literally
There's no way.
I'm like, y'all saw that, right? Like, she just fucking winked at me. Like, I'm like sitting there, and I just froze. I didn't ask. I didn't shoot my shot. I just lost it right then and there. So yeah, Erin Andrews winked at me walking off the field, and I melted. I was just like,
This is not a real story. This did not happen.
Yeah, and I had it in my head that I was going to shoot my shot
time?
and everything, and then I never saw her again after the game. Nothing, like, because I was going to be like, that's when I'm going to shoot my shot, and like after the game.
How is this the first time we're hearing about this? We have talked about Erin Andrews
first time on Valley Vision. I got to save some stories and versions for it.
We have talked about Erin Andrews before, and that did not come up.
I don't know. Actually, I just remembered when I was telling the story, and I was like, I don't want to cry. Like, what can I do? Because I know it's going to choke me up a little bit. And I was like, oh yeah, that Erin Andrews story, that would be funny. And I was like, oh, I've never told them that. Like, yeah.
Wow.
There's just a lot of, I don't know, memories and shit that happened that you just, yeah.
I mean, you had a great time in Omaha.
I didn't have as good a time. I didn't get to get her number afterwards or whatever as I wanted.
Okay.
You know, like
I
didn't get to shoot my shot.
We
had a vibe. We shook hands and shit, and she let me go on the camera and stuff.
Wait, y'all! I started this question, and it was so heartfelt. And I mean, he's tearing up, and it was such a great memory in Omaha.
Erin
And now
Andrews, I'm crying
somehow
that I never
one
got
of
my
his
chance.
favorite memories from Omaha is trying to shoot a shot at Erin Andrews.
It's one of them. Okay, all right. So I'm just going down the list of memories. You asked me memories of Omaha, so I'm going through them. All right, so yeah, and then obviously
it's all getting clipped.
We go and
tag her too.
Yeah, so obviously we win the championship. We dogpile. One of my cooler stories is DJ LeMahieu, my roommate in college. He was from Michigan. He always talked about going to Lambeau and how cool it was and the Lambeau Leap. And so there was fans in left field, like all the student fans from LSU were there. So we always do our lap, right, when you win a championship. So DJ and I are kind of in the back, and I was like, dude, you won't Lambeau. Did you just miss some water? That's good.
I'm like, don't call it out.
Sorry.
I'm not on screen. I just spilled my water. He called it out. Continue.
Yeah, sorry. Well, you're not on screen, so I had to call it out because I didn't want it to slide under the radar. Like, there's no way that people can't know that she just spilled water on herself.
Continue.
Anyway, okay. So I look at DJ and I'm like, dude, Lambeau Leap? And he was like, yes. So we get to left field and everybody's like, Ranaudo, DJ. And we're like, yo, we're coming up with you. We're coming up. And they're like, huh? Like, what are you talking about? I'm like, hey, we're going to jog to the wall. We're going to climb the wall. Y'all are going to pick us up. And we're going to sit up there and we're going to Lambeau Leap with y'all. And they were like, fuck yeah, let's go. We're like, and so DJ and I, we go to left field. We get a little running start. We like take 2 steps onto the wall and like jump off the wall and spin into the crowd, and they pull us into the crowd. And the wall was like very tall, like it was not like a short wall. And so we just like sat in there with all the fans and everything, and just were like, they're like, we fucking did it, we did it. Like, and we were just like going like with the fans and stuff. We did it for like 30 seconds and then jumped down and finished our lap. So that was a cool one. That was a great memory for me, just doing that with DJ and watching how DJ's career has matured and moved on, you know, and like things like that. We still laugh and joke about that moment. And then obviously the celebration with the team. I never drank in college, so to go to an event and be like, I'm drinking tonight, you know, like, and this was a long time ago. This was 15 years ago. So I did drink that night. And I mean, I drank like champagne, you know, like in Michelob Ultras, like, you know, like it was, I probably had 3 of them and was spinning, you know. But no, it was fun. But
at 6'7", spinning off of 3 beers.
We were drinking, we had cigars, you know, but like all the parents so we went to this bar. Everything shut down at 2, but then there was this LSU bar. And so the dude was like, hey, every championship, everybody celebrates here, and we keep the doors open all night. And we were like, all night? And he's like, all night, let's go. Maneri's there. We stayed till 4:30 in the morning, 5 o'clock in the morning. Yeah, everybody was there. Everybody's families, parents, pouring champagne on each other, smoking cigars. Like, it was awesome. Like, everything that you could imagine. So that night was unbelievable. It was literally in a basement, and it was like we were in like a college party. Like, it was unbelievable. Like, it smelled like beer and piss, and yeah, it was terrible.
I would imagine.
It was awesome. But yeah, so that was probably one of my best memories. And then, you know, I'm hungover the next morning, and we get on the bus and we get on the plane, and we're on the plane, and I'm passed out on the plane, and Coach Maitre comes and wakes me up. Ant. I'm like, oh, what's up, Coach? And he's like, all right, so we're gonna land in Baton Rouge. We're gonna get on the bus, and the bus is gonna take us to the stadium. As soon as we get to the stadium, there's probably gonna be about 5,000 to 10,000 people there ready to welcome y'all, and I'm going to have a representative from the seniors, juniors, sophomores, and freshmen do a little speech, and I need you to be my sophomore. Thanks, bud. And he just walks away, and I was like, that was a dream.
Hungover
right?
as
And
hell.
I'm like, 5,000 people. I was like, wait. And he like spun around. I was like, Coach, do I have me? Like, you want me to do it? And he was like, yeah. He's like, you'll represent the sophomores. It'll be great. You're going to kill it. Like, you're the vocal one. You scream on the field. Like, you're going to kill it. Just be rah-rah, do whatever. And I'm like, all right, I'm just going to go back to sleep. So I went back to sleep. Anyway, sure enough, I go in front of freaking 5,000 people when I get back, hungover as shit.
Did you just wing it?
Yeah, I just wung it. Yeah, wung it.
Wong?
Just wung it. Wang it. I just wang
That's
it.
even worse.
I just wang it.
Oh my gosh. Thank God it's Friday.
I just wang it. Yeah, so no, I was just like, I don't even know what I said. There's no way I remember what I said, yeah. But I spoke in front of 5,000 to 10,000 people on a podium and hungover, fresh off a plane after
That sounds like a nightmare.
14 hours earlier, won a national championship. Yeah, it was awesome. So that was a great memory too. That was cool. We all got mauled going back to our cars and stuff because there was no security. It was a mess. We had to like clean out our lockers and like all this stuff. People are like pulling our bags and be like, "Can I have a T-shirt?" And we're like, "Leave me alone.
Let me get to my car.
I just want to go home for the summer. Like it's like this was great. I just want to go sleep for a couple days. Like, can we like relax?" Yeah, so those were some of the good memories.
That was a whole compilation.
Yeah, that was
like,
long.
I'm
Sorry,
gonna
guys.
Clip
Sorry.
all of,
Sorry.
No. When I asked, I figured you would say something sweet, and you started sweet, and I'm not gonna lie, you got me a little teary-eyed when you were talking, but then it just freaking went off the rails, and here we are, hungover speeches, and Aaron Andrews.
I had to harden it up after I was so soft, and was crying.
We're not going there either.
I'm recovering from sickness, okay? These aren't the sniffles from crying. You're
Own
crying.
it.
I'm not crying.
Own it.
You're crying.
It was precious. It was sweet.
Joe
I
was
liked
crying.
it. Joe's off screen, and Joe keeps himself off screen, I've noticed.
I'm on screen.
Put him on screen.
Oh, now? You like to hide.
Where are the tears?
Look,
he
Joe
was
makes
crying.
No, I
faces
did-
off screen, and y'all can't see it, and it either confuses me or
Then
like.
he's quiet too. Like his mic's like I'm like, bro, the whole point is to laugh and like.
I know he doesn't. He'll wait.
be like-
This is the thing. His mic will be off, and he'll like snicker or something. I'm
Yeah.
like, no, do it into the mic so people
This
think
turned
it's
into
funny.
a Joe bashing session. How'd
Yeah,
that
I'm the
happen?
worst. I suck.
No, you know what? This is payback for all those bets and breaks mornings
Yeah.
where y'all just let me have it.
This feels good. I'm glad that I came on.
It was
today.
like a little reunion.
Yeah, this was nice. Lila enjoyed it. I got to sit down with her a little bit. You can't see her on the screen, I don't think. But
Do I have to answer this question for?
yeah, you do.
Okay. Well,
I took
When
my
I-
time and answered mine. So if you want to give details, go for it. We're here.
what did I? Oh, okay. So we finessed a hotel room. We were gonna leave straight after the game. Whatever.
This is after game 1 of the championship series or game 2 of the championship series after we got our asses kicked by
Yeah.
Florida.
Yeah. So we actually had to do this twice, okay? Because we were gonna leave after game 2. LSU gets their asses kicked. We're like, shit. We just drove this whole way.
Right.
There's no way. So we knew some people. This is not the funny one. We knew some people up there. They were able to get another hotel room. We squished into one. Good to go for the next night. We go to the game. They win the game. Oh, wait. Backtrack. Hold on. We went to the bar. Hold on. Okay.
We knew some people and we squished in the hotel room.
Okay,
I'm
stop, because that's really what happened. My point, we were at the bar that same night that we finessed the first hotel room, okay?
Okay, what is finesse the
Now
hotel
listen,
room mean?
well,
Like,
I'm about to explain it. So Greg Stringfellow, I'm name dropping now, works, no, it's fine.
Okay.
No, he's also the guy who hooked us up with
no, I know
7-3
he is.
Distillery.
Yeah, no, we love Greg.
Yeah.
I know. I'm just
Okay.
saying.
So-
I didn't know where the story was going,
No.
so I'm like, we don't need a name drop.
No, Greg took care of us. Like at the bar, we buying us drinks, just introducing us to everyone. Ended up, I'm just gonna say it. So, oh my god, I don't know if there's legal issues here. Anyway,
Well, let's not
No,
run
no,
that.
If we have to
There's not,
wonder if
there's
there's
not,
legal
there's
issues,
not, there's not,
we'll
there's not,
just
there's not,
compliance.
there's not, there's
Hold on, I'll just get our
not.
HR department. Yeah, no, don't. Okay, we shouldn't
I am
do it.
HR.
Yeah,
So
okay.
there's not issues. Mr. Todd Graves rents out a whole bunch of hotel rooms in Omaha, right? That's public knowledge. They had an extra. And when I say extra, I mean Mr. Todd had to fly to New York to open the Canes in Times Square, and his room was
important.
left open the night of the Natty, the game 3. So guess who stayed in Todd Graves' hotel room?
You got
because he was in New York. Yeah, the maids came in, cleaned it all. So we got Mr. Todd's hotel room.
Wow.
After the Natty.
Wow.
Yeah. Greg hooked us up. We were at the team after party, which they closed that bar at 2. Rocco's definitely closed at 2.
No, we didn't go to Rocco's. Like, the team was at Rocco's?
Yeah, they like had the
Well, that's
back
what I'm saying.
room.
It's different now. We were downtown, and there was a downtown bar
maybe,
that was
yeah.
like an LSU bar.
Yeah.
Our hotel was walking distance. You know, it was like perfect. It was the perfect scenario. So like, it was a different situation probably.
Yeah, no,
And
they
like,
closed.
I know it's a different location too. It's completely like,
Yeah.
So that's why I'm like, it's different now.
But I mean, Rocco's with the Jello shots, which, no offense, they are so not good. Those are not good Jello shots. I'm here for it. I like the competition. They're not good.
I believe you.
And if you think they're good, you're lying to yourself. Buy them because everybody wants to contribute to the counter. Not the best Jello shots I've ever tasted. Anyway,
Are any Jello shots good? Like that's around.
I have had good Jello shots.
Okay.
You know the good.
Okay.
You know what a good Jello shot I had at our tailgate
We did have some good ones.
when we were telling them they need to put these in there. Those were good Jello shots.
Mm-hmm.
Also, to clarify, when I say finesse, I mean network and.
That's why I
know,
was laughing because the way you said
no,
it
no,
was like.
no, 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 I know.
I
I
knew
didn't
what you
even
meant,
catch
but I wanted to hear you explain
No,
it.
I didn't even catch network. Mr. Greg did a great job. Also, Peyton Cybrant also helped with that. So since I'm name dropping, thank y'all. That was literally one of the best memories of my life. Anyway, oh wow, we have been all over the world this past hour.
This is great.
Has it been an hour for real?
Yeah, I talked for a long time.
No, I appreciated it. That was a lot of content to clip, Joe.
Sorry, guys.
Might be coming in
I
tomorrow
haven't
to
been doing
clip.
bets and breaks or up and in. So.
You just had a lot to
No,
say.
yeah,
You,
yeah, that's
you
it. I had
haven't
a lot
done a
built
show in a
up,
while.
yeah.
You missed being on the mic. Joe, I feel like we were talking a lot. Do you have anything you want to add? You went to Omaha with your grandpa.
I did go to Omaha. That was awesome. That was awesome. So I wasn't planning on it by any stretch of the imagination.
I remember you called me. You were so nervous to talk about it. Remember?
No, well, I wasn't. It wasn't that I was
You felt
nervous to
bad,
be like,
right?
"Hey, I'm going to Omaha," but it
Yeah.
was like, "Hey, I have an opportunity to go to Omaha, but I have to leave right now."
Yeah.
And I was like,
And weren't you like working?
yeah, I was
Yeah,
like,
you were
"Look,
working,
here,
yeah.
I can either be there in 15 minutes or be on the road to
Right,
Omaha."
right.
So,
Yeah. Can I go?
but no, that one was
We're
that was
actually on the road for an hour and a half. Actually.
Wait,
To Omaha.
Joe, we were in a group. This is before I worked here. Like I was doing some like remote stuff, but I remember texting in the group and
Yeah.
explaining like I'm about to leave for Omaha, and you were
Yeah.
like, "You won't."
no, yeah,
Surely
that was
did.
that whole night that you went.
But you were also like,
Yeah, we
"Oh,
were
I might
all.
go."
Yeah, no, because I was already there.
Yeah, he was there. He
I was
went earlier.
yeah.
I was there for the whole series. After we won the first game, that's whenever I was, because Anthony was in New Jersey,
Yep.
and I texted, I was like, what are the shot y'all show up to Omaha? And then you said, you were like, don't play with me. I was like, you won't go.
Yeah.
And then the next day, you were like, y'all went.
Yeah.
Bet I
really,
won't.
I had so much FOMO. So much FOMO. Love my nephew though.
Yeah.
He's getting christened.
Family first.
I don't know. I'm just telling you, I had FOMO.
They'll have to go back this year, so,
I guess that's
so that we can
I
go.
guess that's what it means. Yeah.
But no, yeah. So my grandfather is like he loves baseball more than anybody I've ever met. I mean that. Like, look, he didn't play in the major leagues or anything like that, but he got drafted. Like to go to war like years and years ago, and ended up playing softball for the military.
No, that's cool.
So like he fell in love with it there. Came back, coached Ainsworth, Ryan Terrio, all those guys. Won a couple national championships at like the little league level. He was like a regular at the ESPN Wide World of Sports as a coach.
Really?
Yeah.
That's awesome.
And coached all the way from that point to like whenever I was playing baseball.
Wow.
And after I stopped playing baseball, like he just kept coaching kids who wanted to play baseball.
That's cool.
Not that he didn't even know.
Yeah.
Point being, loves baseball more than anybody I've ever met, and is a huge LSU baseball fan and had never been to Omaha. So whenever
Never been to Omaha?
yeah, and so whenever Tommy hit the walk-off to beat Wake Forest, my mom got the tickets for her and him, but she couldn't go. Like, she just wasn't able to go. So she called and she was like, "Hey, he doesn't know. Do you want to go with him?" I was
Oh
like,
my gosh.
"Yes."
Oh, wow.
Yes. So that was awesome. It was like
Because that was
like
to get them into the championship series, right?
yeah.
So you guys got to see the walk-off homer?
No.
Oh.
It was immediately after that. Like
Gotcha.
the
She
next
bought the
morning we
tickets
drove.
right after that.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay.
So like we drove the next morning.
That's cool. Yeah.
Yeah, that was a bucket list. It was awesome because it was like he's my grandfather. I've only ever known him or seen him as my grandfather, but like for those 3 days, he was like a kid that just was watching baseball,
Yeah.
and it was super cool.
Did he do old school stuff like fill out the score sheets or anything like? Does he do anything like that?
No, but he was locked in. He
was locked
used to
in.
do that stuff,
Yeah.
but no, he didn't do that. He was just locked in and enjoying the experience of being there.
Yeah.
Like when I tell you, so after the game 3, when LSU just dominated, we watched every pitch. We watched every pitch of every game.
That's awesome.
So like,
even
wow.
the blowout second game?
I think it was like 24-4 or something like that.
That's crazy, yeah.
Yeah.
We watched all the way to the last pitch. We were like, no, because and we were having the conversation, and he was like, Joe, if you want to go, like, we can. I was like, no, dude, when we win, when
Right.
we win this thing, I want to say we watched every pitch.
Yeah.
We endured this.
Yeah. And so after that third game, we left out the stadium. And I was trying to be conscious of him, like, hey, what's the plan? You want to just go back to the hotel? And he was like, no, let's go to Rocco's.
No way! No way!
So he's running down the street, high-fiving people. I was like,
No way!
Yeah, it was
That's
awesome.
so awesome. Good for dude. That's
Yeah,
a
it was
great story.
bucket list.
That's so cool.
Yeah.
Oh my God, that's awesome.
And
that's a great
that's
story.
that's the fun thing, right? Is because I do think, look, in my lifetime, LSU will be back, and I will be in Omaha again, but I'll never have that experience.
No.
And that was so cool.
And it's his first experience too. Like that's freaking awesome too.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? For such a lifelong fan and the things that he's seen in baseball and across sports, for him to have that moment and for you to be able to share that and witness it and just watch him fucking high-fiving people in the street and stuff, that's awesome.
Yeah,
That's really cool.
it was awesome.
I love that.
Omaha, man. I hope we get to go.
Yeah.
LSU
And
needs to
grandfathers
get
are
back.
awesome, man. Like the relationship with a grandfather and grandson are awesome. Like I don't have any more grandfathers, but I had great relationships with my grandfathers, and they're just that's really cool.
Yeah, I have another story about that for off air.
For off air. I feel like we've shared a lot
Pops,
on air today.
Pops had some fun at Rocco's.
Oh my gosh, this was Valley Vision after dark. It's literally dark
Literally,
outside,
it is
so
after dark.
that plays.
Yep.
This was really long, and I know you have to go to the gym before.
Oh wow.
We prioritize health and fitness here, so you go to the gym before the basketball game. So we'll wrap it up.
Oh my God. I forgot.
Yeah. Appreciate.
Well, I kept
for
telling you guys to
hopping
start the
on.
show when the negotiations.
Whoa,
were
whoa,
going
whoa.
on. Yeah.
Again, we are in Cards and Culture. There was a negotiation happening between
Serious negotiations.
a 13 and a 12-year-old for about an hour.
And it was over it was over like the deal was well over $1,500.
13 and 12.
Yeah, so it was a serious deal. It wasn't
Right. This wasn't just to pawn it off. It was
Yeah.
like, okay, we need to figure out what's going on, which is why Valley Vision got pushed back a little bit.
Sorry guys. Yeah. I had to
Mike
make
Up
sure
came
that
on.
Nobody took advantage.
Yeah.
Was taking
You
advantage
did
of,
your
and this was
you
a
did
safe
what you were
space.
supposed to. Yeah, it was a safe space. You did what you were supposed to do. Brokered a deal. We're good. That's why we were late. That's why it's 5:30 and we're just wrapping up. But yeah, thank you for
guys.
coming on. This
Yeah,
was really
thanks for having
fun.
me. Appreciate
We have a
y'all.
lot of good content for your socials. I'm looking forward to clipping that. But yeah, check out the Lance Yates interview, the Jordan Wright interview. We're doing a lot more interactive content. The athletes are loving it. I think it gives them a little bit more of a less formal platform, and we're playing games while we're doing it. So you get to see a side of them that you don't normally see in a sit-down interview. So it's sick. We love what we're doing. We're scheduling more, so make sure you subscribe. We will be back. Will we be back Monday? It's New Year's.
Yeah.
That's entirely up to you.
Yeah.
Um,
We talked
if-
about it earlier of
Yeah.
saying like that whatever you guys feel like doing and
But yeah.
We'll figure it out. Put a pin in it, but we'll probably be back on Monday. We appreciate y'all, and we will see y'all soon.